The Bhakti Center hosted a remarkable event, Bridging the Worlds, the Path of Yoga and Ancient Vedic Wisdom in 21st Century America, featuring the inspiring presence of H.H Radhanath Swami, H.G Gauranga Das, WOTS Kasturbha Das, along with Honorable Consul General Mr. Binay Pradhan, Padma Shri Recipient Dr. Sudhir Parikh, Chef Vikas Khanna, and other distinguished dignitaries. The occasion also marked the launch of the Zero Hunger New York campaign, underscoring a powerful commitment to social action and spiritual unity.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare.
So here at the Bhakti Center, it is our community's sincere effort to actually display something that's so precious to our hearts and what we believe can actually truly create transformations. Srila Prabhupada describes the peace formula of the Bhagavad Gita. Bhoktaram yagyatapasam sarvalokamaheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shanti mechtiti. There can be real peace for everyone and anyone if we just recognize that the Supreme Being, who has many names and who is incarnated in many forms, is the proprietor of everything. And whatever we have, our knowledge, our abilities, our influences, it is entrusted in our care. It doesn't belong to us. And we use whatever, we offer whatever we may have for this higher purpose. And that the Supreme Lord, who is situated within the heart of every living being, is the ever well-wishing best friend of everyone. Our Honorable Consul General is from the very holy state of Orissa, the land of Jagannath, one of the four dhams of India. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and so many of our great saints and acharyas, that is where they chose to reside of all places. And it's interesting, there are many names of God, but this name in Orissa, Jagannath, he's not Orissa-nath, he's not India-nath, he's not Asia-nath, he's Jagannath, he's not even Earth-nath. Jagannath means the Lord of the entire universe, the Lord of the entire existence. And when we are united in understanding what our real dharma, what our real purpose of life could be, then we can actually bridge the world, not with egoism to conquer, but with love. Only love can unite hearts. And this is the great Vedic literatures and the culture of India is describing and giving a path by which we could realize this love. And it really is at the heart of all true spiritual paths throughout the world. When we recognize this, then there would be really a bridge to bring all of the worlds together. Thank you very much.
Many years ago, a tourist from Germany visited India and he went to Mumbai. And it was one of those Udupi restaurants in the 50s and 60s where they used to give out food on the leaf plate, banana leaf plate. So this tourist was visiting India for the first time. He was very intrigued by all the food, the smells and the sound, and especially the leaf plate. So he ate the idli, the vada, the sambar, and he didn't know what to do with the leaf plate. He started eating that also. So on the way out, the manager asked him of the restaurant, how was the food? And the tourist said, the food was great, the salad was very stiff. So many people from across the world, they get totally bewildered and confused about the variety of the types of languages, the cuisines, the culture of Bharat. And it's a fact that there is a conversation going on that why India, with a population of 1.4 billion, is getting only 11 million tourists. With such variety in cultures, with more than 2 million temples, with so many varieties of dance forms, art forms, culture forms, spiritual places. And a city like Paris one city gets 25 million tourists.
New York City, 66 million.
New York City, Dilip is saying 66 million. So therefore, we should appreciate the fact that people from across the world are visiting Bharat to go deep into the wisdom of the Vedic literatures and the yoga culture. And one such personality who's sitting with us from New York City, His Grace Kasturbha Prabhu, is the co-founder along with Raghunath of Wisdom of the Sages, a fantastic morning podcast where I find it unbelievable that every single morning at 5 a.m. there are more than 100 to 200 New Yorkers logged in to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam Puran. That requires a huge round of applause. So sometimes I tell Kaustubh Prabhu that your schedule beats even that of the brahmacharis in the ashram every single day. So that shows that the wisdom and culture is in so much of demand that when people really understand what it is, they are willing to make huge sacrifices in their lifestyle and schedule. So over to you, Kaustubha Prabhu, for sharing your thoughts on this topic.
Thank you so much, Guru. Thank you. On episode number 500, we made it a 2-hour episode rather than our normal 1 hour, and we opened it up to the guests to share. How has hearing Bhagavad Puran, how has hearing Srimad Bhagavatam changed your life? How has it enriched your life? And it was just 2 hours of testimonies, people sharing how they could have never gotten through this stage in their life if they weren't hearing this every day. Right? We really present it as it's a daily practice. Right? It's listening to a podcast, but it's a sadhana because you're hearing this wisdom of this tradition on a daily basis. And by hearing it daily, it gives you another perspective. It allows you to zoom out on your life and zoom out on society and see your life from an entirely different perspective, from the perspective of the sages, from the perspective of the Vedas. Ultimately, we would say from the perspective of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. We can understand our life in a very different way. What seems so important to us from a broader perspective can seem petty and unimportant. We can learn to let go of so many things that hold us down, hold us down from progressing, hold us down from evolving. And we just heard so many. It was really touching to our hearts to hear so many testimonies of how hearing Srila Prabhupada's translations and commentaries on Bhagavad Purana had empowered them to pass through their challenges in life, not only in a wiser way, but in a way in which their hearts became enriched and in which they opened up to experiencing something of the divine love that's spoken about in these texts. So India has such a wealth to offer this world, and we're also fortunate that we all have the opportunity to, in one way or another, be an ambassador of it, connect people to it. And so I feel it's just an exciting time to be in this world, and there's really exciting opportunity for all of us to be able to participate in this. Thank you.
Thank you.
I made something very interesting today. I learned it in Mathura, and there's a widow's ashram there. So there's a makhan malai, which is like a Lord Krishna is so associated to butter. So I created a homemade butter with mishri and saffron. And then I made a ghevar. What is this supposed to talk? I have to tell the dish which I brought and I'm very passionate about it. I spent all night doing that dish because I was very excited to be here. And after everyone has their own religion, I feel. My religion is my mom and food. I divide my life between two religions. And on top of that, we got Rangda mango from India. I made a mousse out of that, and that is there. And then we have Kanhaiya rose petals, which has come from Mathura, and which is sprinkled on top. I feel as people living here, we have an opportunity. You also are very privileged. And some days it breaks your heart that you are in a position where you can help malnutrition or India back home. And this hunger is not just the hunger of food. I was born and raised in Amritsar, where they define how to feed each other. That's a pure definition of that everybody contributes, no one sleeps hungry. I come from that value system where my grandmother took me to Golden Temple. Every day, I miss the school just to be there and cook there. I feel this success sometimes, this entitlement sometimes feels empty. That if you cannot support back home. Every day, everybody would applaud and create all those lists which are so like transient, top and not. But I feel that mission remains so focused in my heart. And I'm proud that the restaurant, when I was signing up the lease, I saw Bhakti Center. I said, this is the place my sister would have loved. Thank you so much. You've always been one of the biggest supporters and unifiers of society. I think unity is the most powerful way to support each other. And bringing everybody under one roof, I'm so honored that I'm on the stage. I hope you guys will enjoy my speech.
Like I said, I don't have anything to add to the knowledge, but I have questions. And I'm so blessed that I am here in August company of such distinguished people who have answers to those questions. And I'll conclude by something which is now quite fashionable, that is artificial intelligence. So I went to ChatGPT. I said, how does one get happiness? I'm sure if you type that in ChatGPT or Perplexity, you will get a similar question, and the reply would be something similar. It would give you the usual reply that we know. That got your screen time to do meditation to various things that we already know. I was wondering that why in ChatGPT or in Perplexity we don't get a reference to Vedic knowledge. Why doesn't it say that as per Upanishad this is a solution to get peace? Why doesn't it say that as for Bhagavad Gita this is how you should approach to life? So that life would be probably more meaningful, you would be content. And like His Holiness was mentioning about my origin from Odisha, I feel that people in my state are generally content with smaller things in life. They are not very ambitious, not very aggressive. People say that that's the reason why we're not very rich also. But nonetheless, there are other brighter sides to remaining content. But I was wondering as to why in ChatGPT there is no reference to Bhagavad Gita, there is no reference to Upanishad. I see, people who are technologically they're leaders of world of technology. I thought, this more like a reference to people like you, who should think about it, that how do we bring in those references to ChatGPT, because that is, end of the day, used by millions and millions of youngsters to understand, replies to such difficult questions of life. But let me conclude with that. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the New York City Mayor, right now, last time I was representing as my personal capacity, but today I'm speaking on behalf of the New York City Mayor and I'm representing him. So on behalf of the New York City Mayor, Eric Adams, I would like to thank you. When we celebrated first time Diwali celebration at the Gracie Mansion under this new administration, H.H Radhanath Swami, he's the one who did lighting ceremony. After that, Dr. Sudhir Parikh can vouch for it. We are trying from 20 or 25 years to declare Diwali is a public holiday in New York City school. But after the next year, we were able to declare Diwali is a public holiday in New York City school. It means that blessings literally works. You got my point, right? When we had the blessings from Radhanath Swami, it worked. But again, the initiative about the free food distribution is such a needed at this time. As we all know, we don't need those kind of help. There's so many people, they goes bad without having a food. So ISKCON is, when we introduced with the mayor, that time what ISKCON is, like we had an Indian committee roundtable, how this conversation came, and we discussed we need these, and that time mayor has asked what you are doing. So now I can proudly go. Food is not only, we are doing so much right now, mental health balance is going on, and when they ask me to come, always I am also a little bit kind of the political side, but when the time comes to listen to Radhanath Swami and Gauranga Das Prabhu, I said no, I will make sure I will be here, not for political reason, not for the mayor, but for personally for myself, because I need that. So such a great honor to be here. And my question to His Holiness, on behalf of everyone, this is in New York City, 8.5 million people. 40% of the people they born outside of the New York City. 230,000 plus small businesses. 64 million visitors visited last year. I know and I came to know about India more than when I was in India. Trust me. In India, I visited only 3 states. Here, every week, I can see Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Orissa, every different culture. So that's about India only. But luckily, right now after this, I'm going to another country event. Before that, the Reliance people were there in my office. Before that, Norway, one of the ministers was in my office. So, what I mean to say, there are 193 countries in New York City. So great nightlife from all over the world, people comes here. But very difficult to balance spiritual component in personal life. Mental balance. I always think that I have to do meditation for 30 minutes or 1 hour. Again, I have to write down that I'll start from next week. So, how we can practically put it in our daily life? That's my question. I think you guys are from ISKCON, so you must not have that question, but this is for me. I think everyone has the same question.
Health and well-being is very much dependent on how we intelligently balance our lives. We sleep, we eat, we get exercise, we work in the office, we have families, we have social obligations. These are all dharmas. All of the different requirements for our own body, for our family, and for the society around us. And we do require to balance. But essentially, we are an eternal soul. And if we don't have time to nourish the soul, then our whole life is off balance. So to make that time. And it begins when we associate with people who understand the value of nourishing the soul and balancing our lives with that principle that can infuse everything else we do with love, with compassion, and with actual meaning and happiness. That is satsang. Satsang is where we keep the company of people who are enlightening us. And it's foundational. We understand the importance of our spiritual needs in life. And if we understand the importance, then we'll apply our intelligence to give that time. Satsang, sadhana means giving some time every day for our spiritual practice. And then sadachar, with the strength we gain from spiritual people and spiritual practice, we can live with character, we can live with integrity, and infuse everything we do. So the beginning really is, we must understand the need to balance, and then the process of how we can do it. And where there is a will, there is a way. Srila Prabhupada, our Guru, used to say that impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. If we really understand the importance of balancing our lives, spiritually, socially, economically, domestically, then there is a way. And that will give our life meaning, and it will give us, in our life, the power to give meaning to others.
So, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dilip, for that beautiful question, and Radhanath Maharaj for that wonderful answer. We come to the conclusion of our wonderful conversation this evening. I would request Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh, who's here with us and runs as part of his community, one of the largest media channels for the Indian community. And he's been very closely associated with the free food distribution program of ISKCON also for many, many years. And I have requested him to share a brief word of thanks on behalf of everyone assembled to Honorable CG and His Holiness Radhanath Swami.
Pujya Swamiji, Pujya Guru Gauranga Swamiji, or Honorable Ambassador Binay Pradhan ji, and dear friends, or dear Satsangi, rather than friends. Before I say a word of thanks, I would like to express, I'm a medical doctor in the private practice for the last 50 years. And as a doctor, I can vouch for it that yoga, doesn't matter which way you do, or meditation, doesn't matter what way you do, it works. I can tell you, usually when my personal thinking is always very adhyatmic. In a sense, I'm always leaning towards the spirituality without knowing it. Because being a doctor, I'm a scientist. Still, I'm always leaning towards the spirituality. And then one day I was thinking that why I'm leaning towards the spirituality. Then I found the reason, because when I was young, 7, 8 years old, I used to go in summer vacation to my hometown called Nadia in Gujarat. And there was one huge temple was there, a very famous temple called Santram Maharaj temple. And there they used to encourage kids between 7 and 10 to memorize the Gita slok. And so every day you have to go with the 10 slok memorized. And then we memorized whole Gita within 18 days. I did it when I was 7, 8 years old without knowing meaning of those sloks. I just went there because they used to give 10 paisa per slok. So it was good enough to eat, baraf ka gola or ice cream. So that was my goal. But then I can see now, I stress my adhyatmic or soch or adhyatmic thinking or spiritual thinking towards this thing. And I'm very much connected, Swamiji, I'm very much connected with the ISKCON movement, because Guru Prabhupada Swami, their ashram, when they moved to Boston, we purchased that ashram and made a Vraj temple there. And I'm the great grand benefactor of that Vraj temple, which is in Pocono. You all must go and visit. It's a beautiful temple with 200-acre lands, and there is a residential thing too. So the other thing, I can answer my way, as a doctor way, his question that in practical life, when we are so busy, how can we meditate? I meditate every day. My way of meditation is just pick one something, whatever you believe in it, say Jai Shri Krishna. So Jai Shri, and I travel for half an hour from my home to my office. So that half an hour, I just keep saying myself Jai Shri Krishna, without picking up any phone, without answering anybody, and keep driving. And I think that gives you a lot of positive energy and positive attitude towards everything. You never think negatively. And whenever I come to a place like this, there's always positive vibration. And really thank you very much for inviting me. And I also thank you everyone, particularly our Ambassador Binay Pradhan ji for a great kind of description of the Vedic thing. And Swamiji, I guess thank you for your blessing. And I'm also, I'm a senior advisor to Akshay Patra in India, which we feed 2 million pot meals every day. And of course, ISKCON is a part of that Akshay Patra. And we started at Akshay Patra about 25 years ago in USA, in New York. And I know that now you are starting Akshay Patra here in Harlem and Brooklyn and wherever is necessary. So it's not only for food, for hungry, but that food can give family to do something better thing, for kids to send them for education, and that's the real advantage of Akshay Patra. And when you educate a child, because he doesn't have to worry about the food, so goes to get the food, gets educated, and then it uplifts the whole family. So I think your initiative is great. Particularly my media group will be for your support, and let us know what I can do for the Akshay Patra. Yes, and then we'll remove the hunger from the New York, and I will be very happy to do that. And so always my support is with your center, Bhakti Center here, and let me know how can we help you out. And thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you Swamiji for your blessing.
The Vedic literatures and the entire culture that personifies it is to present a simple principle: Sarve Sukhano Bhavantu. Let everyone be happy. People are spiritually undernourished and starving due to a lack of authentic spiritual nourishment. Let us all together unite in these principles of bhakti, Sanatana Dharma, and share the wisdom of Krishna and Bhagavad Gita and the essence of all the other great scriptures of the world to truly uplift humanity. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Jagannath Rao, and I am the coordinator for Zero Hunger in New York. And thanks to Bhakti Center, H.H Radhanath Swami and Gauranga Das for giving me opportunity to serve. On instructions of my spiritual master Bhakti Charu Swami, I have been advised to do free food distribution in New York. That is what I am doing now. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you.
My name is Dilip Chauhan. I'm the Deputy Commissioner for the New York City Mayor's Eric Adams Office for International Affairs. Today, I would like to congratulate and I would like to thank Bhakti Center of New York for starting free food program for the needy people. On behalf of the New York City Mayor Eric Adams, thank you, and thank you.
Jai Shri Krishna. My name is Harish Goyal. I represent Yauvan Longevity and Health Resort and ZTV America. I'm so blessed to be meeting His Highness Radhanath Swami and Gaurang Prabhu and Kaustubh Das Prabhu today at Bhakti Center, New York. And I'm happy to be part of the Zero Hunger campaign of Zero Hunger in New York campaign that's launched by Bhakti Center today. Thank you so much. Jai Shri Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Go.
Hare Krishna. So we want to just implore you, encourage you that any meal that is distributed to anyone who's hungry goes a long way. They say a hungry man is an angry man. Also, when someone is hungry, it is difficult for them to ask the really deep questions in life. So we want to create a New York which is hunger free. Take part, be generous, and help change the world one plate at a time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Haribo Hare Krishna. Sanbonani, Huyamora, Ola, Santoza, Nokugutin Kona Lana. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna has changed everyone's life, including mine. And a boy from Soshanguve, now in New York. Transformative life. I have the perspective of the African in the Indian culture within New York. So it's a triple threat. Thank you so much to all the initiatives that continue to help us with food distribution, because with unity is the only way we can conquer the world, and only with love, one heart. Let's get together and feel all right. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. My name is Brinda Kumari Devidasi. I'm one of the teachers here at the Bhakti Center, and this place has changed my life so much through Bhakti, through yoga. And if you're looking for any sort of spiritual nourishment, if you're having those questions you want to ask about who am I, who is God, why am I on this planet Earth, we have the perfect community here for you. And I'm just so grateful to be here, to be able to practice and share the real teaching of yoga. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. My name is Jani Tadas.
My name is Baba Bhakti Devidasi.
And we were living in London for about 25, 30 years, her whole life.
Yes.
And we recently shifted here to New York to assist at the Bhakti Center, which is a beautiful, growing, and thriving devotional community. And we feel very honored here. We were also hearing today how devotees are reading from the ancient books of wisdom, Srimad Bhagavatam. We also do a regular reading, a daily reading of the Bhagavatam.
Yes, it's on YouTube. It's called Bhagavatam Bites, and it's an accessible way of entering the Srimad Bhagavatam ancient scripts.
Anybody can read together and discuss the topics from these books, and their lives become completely enriched and they flourish.
Blissful.
So we thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.